seen this with McHale in her career. I mean, she makes a lot of balls. If you don't metaphorically roll your sleeves up, it can be very, very difficult against them. I mean, players have seen that through her career.
Yeah, absolutely. She will make you work for it, and that is her #1 mission, I think, in every match that she plays. And yeah, just really consistent. Will chase down a lot of balls. I think we'll see her pushing back further behind the baseline as Stevens looks to push up the court. But she is very confident in her retrieving skills, so we'll be hoping that Stevens will overpress a little bit. She's got a little more spin on the forehand side as well, but it's not so much of a weapon. It actually can become lightweight. I wouldn't describe it as a heavy forehand. It's almost just a spinny forehand. Don't really think she can do a huge amount of damage off it, but she does like to dictate with it. Yeah, that's exactly what I was just saying. 2 forehands there. You see the racket come up over her head. Ball drops short. And 2 short balls for Stevens. Point over, really.
Highlight really for McHale recently returning, defending her title, trying to, but actually making a good job on the title defence. Japan Women's Open semi-final run, starting her Asia swing that way. That was after she really couldn't get many results for a number of months. Started the year strongly and couldn't win back-to-back matches for a long time. Between Acapulco, where she reached the semi-finals, and just a few weeks ago, that run as defending champion there in Tokyo, that yeah, couldn't win consecutive matches. It's just so good from Stevens, so easily done.
Yeah, Stevens does just have that firepower that she can inject at will. It is not the biggest strike out there, and she likes to play very much within herself, but if she wants to unload on one, she absolutely can do. Punch it straight through you. Yeah, it's been a tough time really for McHale, I think, throughout the year. You know, I think she's back on track. She did well with the semi-final defence, but obviously in comparison to last year, she did take the title. Really has struggled to get the results on the board. Lost a lot of her points over the clay. She'd made 3rd round of Madrid and Rome, big events.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because she's got a little bit formed together, I guess you could say, the semi-final there, but still, it depends how you view it, because the thing is, still the ranking has taken a bit of a hit. Not as much of a hit as it could have done, but you still lost some points at the end of the tournament because you haven't defended the way the ranking system works. You haven't defended everything. Considering her form going into it, it's a good result. Just to get some back-to-back matches, really. But she started the year ranked 45, now down in the 70s. Coughs up the break back there in the end, McHale. Straight breaks to begin here.
That really is the sort of point I think we will see a lot of. McHale just waiting for Stevens to do something and just making sure that her movement forces Stevens to try and do something good and then potentially miss. Even with that second serve return, you can see McHale really not looking to get the strike in early at all, but definitely on a mission to make life as difficult as possible for Stevens, just by hanging in there, fighting and working. That's what she's very good at.
Oh, well, left it thinking it was going well wide. That's a pretty poor misjudgment, truth be told. I think Stevens would be the first to admit that.
Makes us feel a lot better about our line
very
calls.
Strange. Just didn't see it coming through. Amusing. Oh, it's unlucky for McHale. He was quickly up to the initial one.
Yeah, the drop shot's not a bad play because McHale can drift back, but she does have very good movement, and once she had tracked this, she picked it up really well. Just a bit unfortunate to clip the net there.
It's funny, the contrast in forehand techniques.
Yeah, it's an interesting one with McHale. The technique on both sides is pretty different, and things that a lot of coaches would address very early on the swings, but she makes it work. You can see on the forehand side often finishes up above her head, and it just means that if she doesn't quite get hold of the ball, it does drop short. We've seen that already. On the backhand side, really interestingly, finishes with her elbows underneath her racket. And the most normal thing to coach on a backhand is finish with high elbows over the racket. She really scoops underneath it. Just too short here from McHale again. Couple around the service line. Stevens enough time just to line up exactly what she wants to deliver. And with the technique on McHale's backhand, when she does that with her racket coming right underneath the ball, just means she can't get any topspin, which is fine. If you want to hit flat backhands, absolutely fine. Going down the line's tricky over the high part of the net, though.
Already developing this into something of a battle. Long old service game again on the Stevens ball. Struggling there, Stevens.
That was a big miss. Yeah, she looks a little confused at that one. Just seems not quite sharp. It's the first match of the tournament. Different surface, and I think a lot of people will look at this and say, well, this is a hard court like US Open, but it's very different.
Broken again. Stevens losing away at the back end of that service game, and McHale is back a break in front. 3 breaks to begin here. 2-1.
Next